Hey guys, my name is Nolf. This video is a very quick and simple walkthrough of how you can gear your first character up in Lost Ark so you can start participating in tier 3 content. I would love to go into details about all the things in this topic, but with the release being only 2 more days away, I know that at this point most of you, including me, just want to finally start playing the actual game and you don't want to watch hour-long videos, so I'm going to keep it short and sweet and only talk about what's mandatory information regarding the topic. If you find this video helpful, please give it a like, and also don't forget to subscribe for more Lost Ark content. The only thing I'd like to quickly mention before we get going is that we are only getting the very beginning of tier 3 content and currently have no idea how long it will take for the next content patch to be released. A roadmap will be shown to us of the upcoming updates sometime after the release, and until then we can only assume how long it will take for the rest of the tier 3 content to come out. In this video I'm only going to tell you how you get your gear and what your options are, and I will not talk about where you get mats from and other mechanics. If that's what you want to hear, click the link in the top right corner for my in-depth Lost Ark content guide full of timestamps and some very detailed information. Alright then, as most of you probably already know, you can only start enhancing your gear after level 50, and you need an item level 302 set that you get from your first few Chaos dungeons or by completing the story of Shroshire. This is your first tier 1 set, and if you don't want to craft the Abyssal dungeon set, then it's fine to stick to the Chaos set until you reach plus 15 on it, which is item level 600, and it unlocks tier 2 content. Regardless of skipping the Abyssal gear sets or not, you will want to run the Abyssal dungeons anyways for gold and other rewards like engraving books, and because of that you will also likely have the mat to craft the gear. So if you want to make use of the bonuses, all it's going to cost you is either some gold or some silver. Crafting tier 1 Abyssal gear in the beta test last year only cost silver, but it might be replaced with gold, and later on crafting any sort of gear will cost you gold. You don't need to craft the complete set at once. You can do it one by one and replace your current gear one at a time and keep upgrading in the meantime. In older versions of Lost Ark we had different rarities of Chaos gear inside of each tier, but that's no longer the case, and now only tier 3 has 2 different sets of Chaos gear, a rare and an epic set, and from that point you will only be able to use crafted sets using mats from raids. The difference between rarities is the threshold of additional stats that the item can roll with, depending on its quality percentage. Higher rarities can have higher amounts of stats. When you're switching gears, you have the tools to grab your current gear and carry over your enhancement levels to your new set of items one by one using the recycling tab of the gear honing NPC. This system only carries over your enhancements and nothing else. If the version of Lost Ark that we are getting only has the blue or rare Chaos gear set in tier 1 and tier 2, and you are not crafting Abyssal dungeon gear, then the only reason you would ever use recycling would be to transfer your enhancements to an item of the same tier and rarity, but with a higher quality percentage. After getting your gear set for the next tier, your last set becomes completely irrelevant. Okay, so if you're sticking to the Chaos gear, then you will need to enhance it from item level 302 plus 0 enhancement to item level 600, which is plus 15 enhancement. And if you are going for the Abyssal sets, then the first set you can craft is at item level 340 plus 2 enhancement, which is an epic rarity set with flat attack speed and damage increases as the set bonus. Your next set is going to become available at item level 460 plus 8 enhancement from the Rohandel Abyssal dungeon, and it's a legendary rarity set. Here you can choose between 2 sets. DPS classes should go for the complete boisterous set, and support classes can utilize a combination of 2 pieces of both legendary sets with 2 pieces of the epic rarity set from the previous Abyssal dungeon for the most possible utility bonuses. As I said before, each time you switch gear, you can transfer your enhancement levels over from your previous set. And that wraps up tier 1. Don't forget to grab your first awakening from Beatrice when you finish the story of Northburn, and also your second awakening after the Rohandel story, which is a quest you get in your mailbox when it becomes available to you. Once you reach item level 600, that's plus 15 enhancement on all 6 pieces of your gear, you can move to Yorn, do the story of the continent, and do the Chaos dungeon for your first tier 2 gear, an item level 802 Chaos set. The same logic applies here. You don't have to craft any Abyssal sets in tier 2 either, but they give you nice bonuses and you should be doing the dungeons anyways, so by crafting it, all you really lose out on is silver and some gold in exchange for some very good bonuses. What should make you decide whether you want to craft gear sets in tier 1 and tier 2 or not is how much time you actually spend in that specific tier. In tier 2 you also start getting skill gems, don't forget to socket them in. Your next goal is item level 840, which is +2 enhancement on all of your gear. Here you can craft the epic sets from the first episode dungeons of tier 2. After that, you want to go for item level 960, which should be +8 enhancement, same milestones as in tier 1. I'm not sure what the optimal set choice is here, but I can see the same 2-2-2 mix work for supports, just like in tier 1, and probably the full Mute Guardian set for DPSs, but that might differ from class to class or build to build or just by preference. The next milestone is yet again +15 enhancement, the magic number, which is item level 1100. Reaching that milestone unlocks Punica, where you get your next chaos set from, which is an item level 1302 rare rarity set. You will start getting new tier 3 skill gems here, and you will have to replace your tier 2 gems with them, because their effectiveness is half by doing tier 3 content. This is the point where things actually start to get confusing, but by the time you get here, you will be a lot more familiar with the game, especially if you've been crafting your abyssal sets, so the tier 3 gear progression will make a lot more sense at this point. At launch, we will most likely only have access to the rare and epic rarity chaos sets, as well as the epic rarity abyssal dungeon gear in tier 3. There's no point in not crafting this abyssal set, since it's going to be the set you will be using until more content is released. Until you are able to craft the full abyssal set, which might take a few runs of the dungeons, you can use the epic chaos set pieces and replace them one by one. Our highest level guardian raid will be Velganos, and he drops legendary rarity accessories and ability stones, which will be really nice to have for running the abyssal dungeons for gold until more content is out. To fight him, you need to reach item level 1385. For now, this should be the enhancement level where you stop upgrading, because whenever our first abyssal raid, Argos, becomes available, you will be crafting and using one of his sets. Tier 3 is the only part of Lost Ark where you should and you are expected to go beyond +15 enhancement, and this is where the real grind begins. But I assure you, this is a grind that you can absolutely enjoy, because all the content that you will be doing from here is top notch. We will get region raids one by one, and they are content that some might even consider the best raiding experience they ever had. I personally have never done any of them, and I actually managed not to spoil all the mechanics for myself in these raids, but I saw just enough to be able to tell that I will have a world of fun throwing myself at these raids endlessly with some friends of mine, and maybe even with you guys if you join me while I stream over on twitch.tv/lemnov. To help further understand the progression, I'm linking you a Reddit post with very useful images of game progression. If you want to see, click the link in the top right corner. And if that's not your cup of tea, please take a look at the Lost Ark pages of maxroll.gg. Some long-time Lost Ark content creators have started working on the site a while ago, and they are doing an amazing job putting the site together, filling it with simple to understand and very useful information. Before we get more tier 3 content, I will make sure to cover everything related to tier 3 progression in a separate video. I have lots of content planned for after the release, so if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you already did, I really appreciate you and your time you have already spent watching my content. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you. I've been saying this here on my channel in pretty much every video of mine. I will be streaming my entire first day of Lost Ark on Twitch on the 8th of February. Make sure to check in and say hi. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.